Good morning. Let us start our class. In the earlier class, we have discussed some of the Indian economists. We can continue our topic. Next economist is C.N. Vakil. He lived during 1895 to 1979. His major economic ideas are: first one, planning. He put forward an alternative approach, another way of approach to Indian planning, which was opposite to Mahalanobis model during second 5-year plan. You have already heard Mahalanobis through Indian planning. His model is related to Marxian concept of variable capital. Vakil's model is related to Marxian idea of variable capital that we have already studied Marxian thought. Assumptions of his model of plan are: first one, wages are paid in advance of production. Wages are paid in advance of production. Then variable capital constitute exclusively food. Variable capital, changing capital constitute exclusively food. Then labor could produce capital goods without the assistance of other factors of production. Labor could produce capital goods without the help of other factors of production. Then next, model is developed with the multiplier formula, which is based in the stock of wage food in the hands of planning authorities. Next, existence of industrial reserve army or disguised unemployment. Reserve army, that was a concept of Marx, unemployed people. So there is existence of industrial reserve army or disguised unemployment. Then transfer of reserve army from rural sector does not lead to increase in the output in the farm sector. If we are transferring this reserve army from rural sector, it does not reason to increase output in the farm sector. Then second idea is wage good model. According to him, the rate of growth of economy is influenced by several economic and non-economic factors. Rate of growth of economy depends on several economic and non-economic factors. Among the economic factors, accumulation of capital, storage of capital is most important, which in turn depends upon the technological progress. As non-economic factors are concerned, institutional changes are important. Among the economic factor, accumulation of capital is important. Among the non-economic factor, institutional changes are important. Demand for investment depends upon the consumption of goods. That already we know. Demand for consumption depends upon the size of the market. But due to level of income, size of market is limited. The labor productivity of labor leads to lower level of income, and hence size of market and level of investment is low. Third one, role of technological progress. His third idea is role of technological progress. Technological progress is powerful engine of growth in output, as it did not cause unemployment in developed economies and also leads to increase in the standard of living of people. Technological progress or development is a great help to laborers. If it does not reason to unemployment in the developed economies, it helps to increase the living standard. Next concept is consumption multiplier. Its assumptions are MPC. What is MPC? Have you forgot this? Marginal propensity to consume. Studied in the Keynesian concept. MPC of wage goods producer is 0. Assumptions only. Then money and real wage rate remain constant. What is real wage rate? From the with that money what quantity we can purchase, that is real wage. Then price will remain same, constant. Large scale disguised unemployment exists in wage goods farm sector. Agriculture sector is seasonal, so employment in that field area is only that season. So large scale disguised unemployment in the farm sector. Then next, rate of interest remain constant because supply of credit is perfectly elastic. Then size of population also remains the constant. These are the assumptions related to his consumption multiplier. The next idea is poverty. Poverty in a country may be due to defects either in the production of wealth or in its distribution. Two reasons of poverty are internal reasons and external reasons. Internal reasons are seasonal work, few active workers in family, then beggars, climate change, and low education are the major internal reasons of the poverty. External factors are international trade, industrial backwardness of the country, our international trade exchange FDI is very less. The next concept, deficit financing and public expenditure. He strongly objected, strongly against deficit financing. What is deficit financing? Here expenditure is more than the revenue. Then he appointed Public Expenditure Commission in 1921. Next, last concept is inflation. He was first Indian economist, gave much attention for the study of price rise. Price rise means inflation. So, these are the major ideas of Vakil. Then we can go to next economist, Dr. Gadgil. His important works are Industrial Evolution of India in Recent Times, then Regulation of Wages and the Other Problems of Industrial Labor in India. These are two major works. Then his major economic ideas are Industrial Evolution of India. He found there is a close relation between agriculture and industrial prosperity. He divided into different phases of industrial evolution. First phase is from 1880 to 1895. He implemented first factory law in 1881 regarding commercial crops, and cultivation started in the field of cotton and jute also. This is the first phase of industry in our Indian industrialization. Second phase is 1895 to 1914. At that time, India suffered severe famine at Bengal during 1896 to 97. Then third phase is 1914 to 1928. Cooperative credit for rural area, increase in international trade. During this time, cooperative credit for rural area was started and increase in the international trade also. The next phase is 1929 to 1939. Here, worldwide trade depression. In the Keynesian concept, we have studied Great Depression of 1930s. So, India also suffered worldwide trade depression, so provincial autonomy started, where each state, each provinces started to recover from this problem. Next phase is after 1935. During this period, prosperity were started. Then next concept is industrial labor. He studied problems of labor in India and low level of payment made to industrial workers, low wage to industrial workers, and disparity, inequality between wage paid for similar work. He suggested solutions for this and welfare programs such as industrial housing, employment insurance, health insurance, etc. for the laborers. Then war and economic policy. Next concept is war and economic policy. He described about price level, money supply, inflation and economic policy. These are the major ideas of the Dr. Gadgil, Industrial Revolution and Industrial Problems of Labours in India. Next economist is VKRV Rao. He lived during 1908 up to 1991. He was a great scholar to design economic policies and plan. From the Indian economy, we have studied his theories. His major works are National Income of British India, Investment Income Multiplier in an Underdeveloped Economy, Essays on Economic Development, Education and Human Resource Development, Inflation and India's Economic Crisis. He was deeply interested in large theories such as national income, food, nutrition and distribution of food, employment and occupational distribution. First, we can check his idea regarding national income methodology. As an applied economist, he was an applied economist. His work is remembered for study of national income. He estimated national income on scientific approach. Before that, economists gave importance to poverty estimation. He studied exchange value. Derived output in developed countries gets undercoded and underestimated in developing countries. He estimated national income on cost of final goods. He focused links between income and consumption. That already studied relation between income and consumption from Keynesian theory of psychological law of consumption. And he also focused behavior of capital output ratio, national and regional poverty changes, rural urban difference. There is so many difference in the income among rural and urban area, income and difference in the relative output. Then his paper on the full employment and economic development was one of the earliest contribution in the field of development oriented towards employment. International Development Authority, he was the proposer of IDA, International Development Authority. Then International Food Aid explained this concept for solving world poverty. Then he was supporter of socialism. Then he supported industrialization. He explained reasons for low per capita income in India as lack of industries, then uneconomic holding with subdivision. Most of the land are concentrated among only rich persons. Then low level of water availability for crops are the problem of productivity in agriculture. Population pressure on agriculture also reason to low level of productivity in agriculture. Then absence of capital, absence of autonomy, freedom in currency policy, general monetary measures, etc. are the problems of India. Then he argued for supplementary voluntary saving. We should ready to save as voluntarily. Then industrialization control excess dependence on agriculture of labor. If industries were developed in India, excess dependence on agriculture will reduce. Then he suggested village cluster for rural development. Villages are making as a small area clusters for the rural development. Then he concentrated on the investment, income and multiplier, studied interaction between investment, income and multiplier in an underdeveloped economy. I means investment, Y means income, K means multiplier. So he studied the interaction between investment, income and multiplier in an underdeveloped economy. So today we have discussed about three economists and their major economic ideas. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Thank you.